Hello everybody, welcome back to Clovercraft, and today we are starting out at my base where I have begun building the forest and the start of the ruins on this island. I haven't yet gotten to any of this area, which is where I'm going to be expanding to, but I have started figuring out what I want it to look like. I'm definitely going to need to terraform a bit to sort of ease the transition between these two areas, but so far I'm really liking the look of everything. All of these trees still need leaves, and I am probably going to add some more fish into this pond here, but I'm really liking these columns and what I have for the trees so far. I've also got this nice big stump, which I'm going to be using as a storage area. I still need to move all of my items over, but it's a decent enough size that hopefully it should be able to contain all my chest monsters without too much difficulty. Something that's very important to me about my base is I really want to make sure that even though all the inhabitants of the civilization are long gone, I still want it to feel alive. So I want to get a whole bunch of cool mobs that I can kind of just let loose and roam around. And so for that, I spent a lot of time breeding up a whole bunch of blue axolotls. I've got not just these two shulkers full, but also a few extras, and so this definitely will be enough for me to have a whole bunch to kind of hang out in the waterways of my base, and also so that if need be, I can always beat up some more later on. And I also terraformed the beaches. I've only done this island, I haven't gotten yet to any of the other areas, and it hasn't spread out too deep into the middle of the river yet, but that's going to be a project that's probably going to continue for pretty much most of the season because it requires a lot of mud, which is something I don't really have that much of right now. However, I am very happy with how it's looking, and so I'm really excited to keep working on it, even if it is kind of a boring task for videos. I definitely don't have enough leaves to do all of the trees yet, but I'd like to at least get started with one of them so that I can kind of figure out how I want to do the leaves. And I think I will start with this one right here. It's kind of on the edge, which means that it's not interacting with the others too much, so it should be pretty easy to kind of lay things out. I've never really done much with custom trees before in Minecraft, so it's been a bit of a learning curve. I think I sort of have an idea of like the trunks and the branches now, but the leaves are going to be a whole different thing to try to experiment with. I want it to look really dense and overgrown, like these forests have been here for, thousands of years, because in the lore they have. So I'm probably going to be using more leaves than is entirely accurate to real life. But that's okay. It's also really important to me that all of the trees are accessible without elytra, so I made sure when I was building them, not just for ease of building, but also just because I think it would be really fun, that you can climb up every single one of them. That doesn't include the stump, but of course you can always just kind of jump down on top of it from any of the other trees. Now, in real life, trees usually have a thing, I think it's called crown shyness, where they basically won't, like the leaves of one tree won't really touch the leaves of another. That's definitely not happening here, but that's okay. Maybe these are like, I don't know, magic trees. I think so far I'm liking sort of the shapes of the leaves, but we definitely need more. Especially from down below, it's not quite as sort of thick and overgrown as I'd like it to feel. I am definitely going to need a lot more leaves because that was 10 stacks and we only have this much done. Now though, it's time to start cleaning up this area. I'm going to leave some chests and things here just because I think that works really well as decoration. It makes sense that my character would do a lot of storage here, but realistically, I mean, these have got to go. I was working with some block pallets and things, and I've got a whole bunch of just junk, honestly. So it's all going to go in that stump over there. That actually didn't take too long, only about 10-15 minutes, and now all of the clutter is gone, and we have everything sort of organized in chests around here. It's not super pretty, but it'll do the job. So now it's time to get back to work on putting in the leaves and making this feel a bit more like a living forest rather than a dead one. I haven't quite finished detailing the leaves beneath all of the branches, but even just on top of the trees, it's made a huge difference. The forest is a lot moodier, it's a little darker, which I really like, and you can see all of the particles from the firefly bushes a whole lot easier now that the leaves are sort of covering everything up. I'm really happy with how this forest is turning out so far, and it's given me a great idea for how I want to bring these ideas forward for the rest of my base throughout the season. You can definitely see a difference in the bits that I have gone over and textured a second time, like over here, versus the bits that I haven't. They're a lot flatter and they look less like real trees that could actually exist. I've been using my new Happy Cast to help me out with that process. I admit I wasn't the biggest fan of Happy Cast when they were introduced. They kind of felt like just another scaffolding thing, but I've come to really like them. I've also got these two sniffers who I'm going to breed up and let just a few loose into my base for some ambience. Not too many. I don't want to cause lag, of course. However, I think that along with the blue axolotls, they could be really nice and kind of give that sort of mystical vibe with the animals in addition to all the plants. I'm not really thinking too hard about how I place these leaves. I'm kind of just putting them wherever. And I think that's part of, honestly, what's helping the forest look so organic. They're not really mathematically planned out or anything in real life. They kind of just exist. And a little bit of that chaos I'm finding is really helping me. Even though my forest isn't quite done, I still want to take a break, and so what better time than now than to show you the task area. Every month or so, we are required to do a task in order to keep using the industrial district, and I actually was just promoted to being the assistant task manager. So let me show you now how that came about.
Go! Hello!
Hello!
Have you seen I'm missing a door. Ignore
Oh
that. Have you seen
no!
my cute building here?
I have seen it. I haven't actually been inside yet.
Well, come take a look around. This is where everyone's task gets put. They
Ooh,
have their thing
okay.
that they can light their lamp if they finished. And over here we have my office. This is Avocado, and this is
Oh
Toast.
my
They don't
gosh!
have their names yet, but they are named.
Oh, they're so cute.
But there's something here.
Oh,
This
okay.
this is my assistant's office, but there's a problem with it.
Uh-oh.
It it's empty.
Oh no!
It's now full. Would you like the job?
Sure. And since I am the assistant manager, I should definitely do my task. So, let's see what it is. Here we are. And here is my task. Let's go over to my new office to read it. Pick another Clover's shop in the shopping district and restock one of the chests without getting caught. Bonus points if you put the item in the wrong chest. Extra bonus points if someone else is in the shopping district while you do so. That sounds like it'll be a whole lot of fun. So now I have to figure out whose shop I'm going to restock and what item I'm going to give them. So I can't restock my own shop, so let's take a look and see what other shops there are. We have Lucy's Stone Shop, which is very cool. Let's see if there are any barrels that need restocking. Let's check the other stores too. We have the Log Shop. I believe this is Cherries. I'm not going to check the disc shop, partly because I'm not exactly sure how the stocking system works, since I haven't really taken a super close look at it, and also I don't have a good way of getting music discs right now. We could check the thrift store. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of the new blocks really need stocking. There's the Elytra shop, but this is pretty well stocked as well. And then finally, Rue has a banner store, but I don't really know how to make banners, so I'm not going to try to stock this one. There is, however, the campfire store, and that one might be fun to restock. Unfortunately, they're not super low on stock, and honestly, I'm not really sure how often campfires are sold, so this might not be super helpful. I think I'm going to choose the wood shop. Now, I could go with just straight dark oak logs, but that's not really very fun. So what I might do is I might do stripped dark oak logs instead. That way I'm hoping not just by providing stock, but stock that's a little bit trickier to get because you also have to strip the logs. And hopefully that'll give less of a clue that it's me. Most of the server knows that I build my forest with dark oak, but if I'm doing stripped dark oak, maybe they won't be so quick to assume who it is. So now it's time to go and get that stock ready. Technically, the whole bonus points thing doesn't actually mean anything, but I do think it would be a little bit more fun if I'm trying to stock up the shop while somebody else is in the district, or at least online. And right now, there is nobody. So hopefully someone shows up while I'm getting the logs ready. As you can see, I have not just a whole bunch of logs, but also saplings and some bone meal. So we're going to go ahead and farm even more. If I'm going to stock the shop up, I'm going to do it right. I now have all of these stripped dark oak logs that could possibly fit in the store. So now it's just a matter of waiting for someone to be online and in the shopping district, and I can go ahead and stock that up. I'm not entirely sure, but based on the locator bar, I believe that Jerry is either in or near the shopping district. And since I'm pretty sure the log shop is hers, I think that might make this a bit of a challenge to try to restock it without her noticing. I'm really hoping she's not actually in her store and is just somewhere nearby, because that'll make this a lot easier. But even if she is in there, I think I'm just gonna have to commit. And if I fail to keep it a secret, then I'll have to pick someone else's shop to restock. Alright, it looks like she is actually at her base. But her base is pretty much on the shopping district, so I think that's still going to make this a little bit difficult for me. I'm gonna have to do this fast in case she decides that she wants to come check her shop. I also need to figure out where I want to put these logs. I could put them in just the regular stripped dark oak barrel, but that feels a little too easy. And if I want this to be a challenge, then I can do what the book said and put it in the wrong barrel. I had considered putting them in the stripped spruce logs barrel since they are relatively close in color. However, uh-oh, is she coming in? Oh no, please don't be coming into the store. Okay, thank goodness. I was gonna just pretend I was buying something, but luckily it does not seem like this will be an issue. Anyway, I was going to put them in here since stripped spruce, stripped dark oak, they're like, okay, they're not very similar, but they're similar enough. However, this is relatively full. So instead, I'm just going to put them in the stripped crimson. There we go. Fully stocked up. And this will be a nice little surprise for her. And also for anyone who tries to buy stripped crimson logs. Sorry. And now we have to skedaddle and hope that she doesn't suspect I'm the one who did it. Perfect timing too, because I think she is coming back to the shopping district area now. I really hope she doesn't decide to check her shop right now, because that would be... Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. It is a good thing. Just my pride. It's a good thing that I made all of these trees climbable. Anyway, what I was trying to say is hopefully she doesn't decide to check her shop immediately, because she definitely saw that I was in the area, I would think. And that would be pretty suspicious. I think we can call that a successful task. So luckily that means that I can start using the industrial district again, which is going to be great because for my next few builds at my base, I'm going to be needing a whole lot of quartz, and I really don't feel like mining that. But I think that's enough for today. For now, goodbye, everyone.